You don't have to leave. It's cold out there. Those 7 words, quiet, almost whispered, would change 2 lives forever, but neither of them knew that yet. Mara Calloway was 27 years old and already tired in the way that people twice her age described, not in the body, but somewhere deeper, somewhere that sleep couldn't reach. She worked the late shift at Sunrise Suds, a small laundromat tucked between a closed diner and a pawn shop on the edge of Clover Falls, Ohio. The fluorescent lights buzzed overhead like something that couldn't quite decide whether to stay on or give up. Most nights it matched her mood perfectly. She'd taken this job 3 years ago when her mother got sick. Medical bills had a way of making choices for you. She'd left her junior year of community college, 1 semester from a business degree, folded her dreams neatly like a bedsheet, and set them aside. Someday, she always told herself, someday. That Tuesday night in late November, the last customer had left by 9:30. Mara was sweeping between the machines, earbuds in, when the door creaked open and cold air rushed in like a quiet apology. He stood in the doorway, tall, lean, maybe 30 or so, with a worn army green jacket that had seen too many winters. His name, though she didn't know it yet, was Caleb Morrow, 33 years old, a man who had once worn a name badge that read Senior Analyst at a financial firm in Columbus before a series of events, a company collapse, a mental health spiral he still couldn't fully explain, and a pride too heavy to ask for help had left him sleeping in shelters and doorways for nearly 2 years. He didn't ask for anything. That was the first thing Mara noticed. He just stood near the door, holding his jacket shut with one hand, looking at the floor like he was already apologizing for breathing the warm air. "We close at 10, Mara said carefully. Then she looked at him, really looked, at the dark circles, the cracked lips, the way he was trying very hard to appear invisible. "But you can stay till then. It's warm in here." He nodded once, slowly. "Thank you." He sat in the corner chair, the one with the wobbly leg that nobody ever chose, and within 10 minutes his chin had dropped to his chest. He was asleep. Mara watched him for a moment. She should have woken him. Policy said the shop closed at 10 sharp, but something in the way he slept, not peacefully, but with the exhausted collapse of someone who hadn't felt safe in a long time, made her reach over and simply turn the open sign off and let him be. She kept working, folding, wiping. The machines hummed their slow, rhythmic song. At 10:30, she heated 2 cups of instant soup from the back cabinet, the chicken kind she kept for her own long nights, and set one quietly on the small table beside him. She didn't wake him, she just left it there, like a note written in warmth. 3 weeks passed. Caleb came back, not every night, but enough. He always sat in the same corner. He always left before closing now, she'd never had to ask. One night, during a lull, Mara handed him a cup of coffee and sat across from him. "You don't have to tell me anything," she said softly, "but you look like someone who used to be somewhere else." He was quiet for a long moment. Then, "I used to wear a tie to work." He said it like a confession. "I used to think I had everything figured out." He paused. "Turns out I didn't know how to ask for help when everything fell apart." Mara looked at her hands. "My mom always said pride was just fear wearing a fancy coat." He almost smiled. Almost. Over the following weeks, small truths passed between them the way warmth does, slowly, without announcement. She learned he'd studied finance, that he still did mental math when he was anxious. He learned she'd almost finished a business degree, that she kept a worn notebook behind the counter where she sketched out ideas for a small business she still believed in, someday. One night, she found him awake, staring at her notebook that had slipped from the shelf. "I didn't read it," he said quickly. "It's okay." She picked it up. After a moment, she opened it and showed him a page, a rough plan for a small laundry and delivery service for elderly residents in the neighborhood. He studied it carefully. Something shifted in his face, not pity, but recognition. "This is actually really good," he said quietly. "Your cost structure makes sense. You'd need a van, licensing, liability coverage, and about $18,000 to start lean." She blinked. "How do you—" "Old life," he said simply. Then came the morning that Mara would replay in her mind for the rest of her life. She arrived at 6:15 to open the shop. On the counter, weighed down by the old coffee mug she always left upside down, was an envelope. Inside was a check for $1 million made out to Mara Calloway, and a handwritten note on folded paper. "You gave me a chair when I had nothing. You gave me soup I never asked for. You treated me like I still mattered when I've forgotten that I did. I came into some recovered assets from a legal settlement, money I'd fought for and then stopped believing I deserved. I didn't know what to do with it until I watched you. Please build what you drew in that notebook. The world needs more of you in it. C.M." Her hands shook. She sat down on the floor right there between the machines and wept. Mara didn't cash the check for 3 days. She made inquiries. She called a lawyer friend of her mother's. The check was real. Caleb Morrow had once been a co-founder at a financial tech startup that had collapsed amid fraud that wasn't his. After years of litigation, a settlement had finally been ruled in his favor, and he had given almost all of it away to her. She tried to find him. It took 2 weeks, 3 shelter networks, and 1 social worker named Denise, who finally connected them by phone. "Caleb," she said, voice catching, "you didn't have to do this." "I know," he said. "That's why I did it." A long pause. "Will you let me help you now, the way you helped me?" Another silence. Then quietly, "Yeah, I think I'm ready to let somebody do that." Mara launched Sunrise Deliveries 14 months later, a laundry pickup and delivery service for seniors across Clover Falls. She hired 4 people from the local shelter program. Caleb, slowly rebuilding, eventually came on as a part-time financial consultant, working towards his license again, one honest day at a time. The wobbly chair in the corner of the laundromat, she never replaced it. Because sometimes the most ordinary act of kindness, leaving a light on, offering a warm corner, seeing a person when the world has stopped looking, becomes the moment that changes everything. Kindness doesn't ask who deserves it, it just gives. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Let's spread more stories of kindness and hope together.